Hi, I'm Oscar Monteagudo. I'm the head of sales for Vodafone Carrier Services. It's my pleasure to welcome today Diego Massidda, the CEO of Partner Markets and Carrier Services, a role he's just taken over. Welcome, Diego.
Thank you, Oscar. It's a really pleasure to be here at Capacity Europe 2021.
Thank you. So Diego comes from 18 years experience in the telecommunications marketplace, having led wireline and TV businesses, previously mobile, previously the CEO of Vodafone Hungary. And you started your career in civil engineering, I believe.
Correct.
And you did a spelling consultancy with having spent 6 years at McKinsey, if I'm not mistaken. You've lived in 6 different countries. You speak 6 different languages. More or less. So for the benefit, so today we're doing, for my benefit, we're going to do the interview in Spanish today, if that's okay.
In Spanish?
No, but I'm only joking. We're going to do it in English for my benefit, if that's all right.
That's
okay.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. So Diego, what a time it's been living through the pandemic. I think there's been a real paradigm shift, hasn't there, in terms of how we've managed the business during the pandemic. Can you perhaps tell us a little bit about how you've had to lead the organisation during this moment of change?
Yes, absolutely. Look, I mean, we all had to adapt very quickly, didn't we? I mean, almost overnight you had to do the business from home, coming to the office again, and was very little time to prepare. We even moved entire call centers from premises to working from home, things which we would never thought would be possible, became possible out of necessity. But what I felt was great is that we actually realized that the technology, which is actually mostly our technologies, I take telecommunications, the mobile, the fixed, all together, and the services, the communication services on top, have shown that they were resilient, they were up to the purpose, and they allowed businesses to really continue working to an extent which I think even surprised ourselves, who are in the industry, who knew a lot more about what technologies were capable of doing. But probably we never thought that we would be able to run our entire business this way. From a leadership point of view, obviously having all of a sudden to manage a team virtually through video conferences, Zoom calls, etc., was a daunting prospect at the beginning. But it actually turned out to have a silver lining. First of all, I think the business, at least our business, continued to do pretty well. What we thought would be impossible to run, if not face-to-face, actually could be run remotely. And then sometimes people would also find that they would have more time to relax in between calls, or to take care of some of their private things without affecting their business performance. And therefore, we all learned new ways of working and new ways of working together, which I think we can bring into a more normal future of working situation, taking the best out of this experience, but definitely bringing back some of also of the things we were doing before, which added so much pleasure in working and effectiveness, like meetings like the one we're having today, right, face to face.
Great. Okay. So Diego, given everything you've just said, our customers have seen a real shift towards digital transformation, and given everything that our own experience, how do you think we can actually, or our customers can benefit from our own experience in that marketplace?
Look, I mean, what really happened is that people had to do everything from home and online and through digital means. And that applies both to consumers, but also businesses, small and big. And what happened is that this has accelerated already a transformation that was already happening, where people, probably they were, some of them scared or maybe not really trusting that things could be done that way. But also, businesses have shown that you can do so much digitally and in such an efficient way, and make it so easy for people that they get used to it, and now they will never go back. So I think a lot of this transformation towards digitalization and using digital means to do stuff is there to stay. And at the same time has allowed also companies to digitize their own operations and make them more efficient and more customer friendly. So it's actually amazing how this pandemic has had that effect on everything and on every company and every customer we've had. And moving forward is also allowed us to see where our glitches were, where our imperfect execution of a digital experience, could not stand up to what the customer now expects. And we had to quickly adapt our products, our services, our experiences, because customers were comparing us with really the best out there and in everything they were doing. And has allowed us to really be challenged and having to improve quickly.
I love that, the way you describe that imperfection about our digital experience. I think we can capture that and really bottle that and kind of make it better. So
absolutely, and I think it came mainly from the fact that we always saw digital as a complement to other channels in many cases. It could be on a B2B conversation in the direct sales and the direct interaction with our customers, or maybe in a consumer environment, could have been maybe for a telecom operator or a shop interaction. And the digital was a complement to that. And we thought we were pretty good, but we always had the backup. Now there was no longer any backup. And we had to make sure that digital was the first thing we get right, and it had to be perfect, because that would have cost business, revenues, and customer loyalty if we hadn't. And that acceleration has given such an impulse to our industry and an improvement to our services the customers can continue to enjoy in the times to come.
And it's fascinating how we talk about all segments, whether it's business, consumer, carrier, of course, part of the enterprise business itself. It doesn't really matter, actually, does it, essentially?
No, it doesn't. And I think it has shown how also as carriers, there's so much more we can make digital. We are looking here in some areas, for example, the application of blockchain solutions, which will allow us to be more efficient, to be more reliable, get things done more quickly, and digitize them, and then really focus on the activities which have more value add, and that where we can really innovate more, and it frees up all this energy and all these resources to look at these value-added activities.
Of course. So, Diego, given your extensive market experience, what would you say buyers are now looking for from the marketplace generally, from the telecoms marketplace generally? And can you perhaps describe some of the win-win solutions that we might be able to pull together for our customers?
Sure, Oscar. Look, I think that our customers are seeing how technology really integrates in their services in order to serve their own customers. And I think they're looking for a company that can provide them with a great global reach so that they can replicate their solutions across different markets seamlessly. They can have one discussion about co-creation. And they can also, find somebody who understands the technology deeply and how allows them and helps them identify what is the best that can fit their needs. So when then you engage with the customers along this, what I found is that the best collaboration is where you really look at it more as a partnership rather than a buyer and seller relationship. And in a partnership, it's really the win-win that matters. It's important that you not only look at your own return for your own company, the product you want to sell, but also understanding how that benefits the customer, and find that there is a balance between the benefits that both parties are getting out of the deal. At the end of the day, we are here for multiple interactions. We talk about one product today, we talk about another product tomorrow. We will find ourselves again in a similar situation, and it's very important that we create that trust through deals and collaborations, the partnerships that create value on both sides, and everyone in the longer term realizes that, yes, that worked for me, right? And it has to work for both. Cannot only be one-sided.
So some of the things picking up on some of the things you said there in terms of reach, the fact that Vodafone can reach 80% of mobile subscribers is clearly very, very important. But some of the things you said there about trust, and that comes down to integrity in the brand.
Yes.
And I think just thinking through some of the things we do from our fraud prevention activity, for example.
That's very important. Yes.
Would you say, I'm just thinking about how important that would be from a brand and trust perspective?
Well, a lot of our customers are extremely valuable brands that like ours, as Vodafone, we also care a lot about the integrity of our brand and the value of it. And this can easily be tarnished if things are not done in the proper way. For example, preventing fraud is absolutely essential. Complying with regulation, and engaging with the regulator to find what is the best way to deliver services that comply, but at the same time deliver on the customer promise is key. And I think over time we have demonstrated that these values are extremely important for us. And sometimes we are even prepared to even give up some revenues in order to make sure that we are compliant with the spirit of the regulation, or that we fight fraud. And then our customers, when they engage with us, they know that things are done in the proper way, and that they won't find themselves in a difficult situation, just maybe for the sake of getting a little bit of a cheaper service, maybe here or there, but in an area that's maybe a little bit more grey, or that relies on not so untowards ways of creating a solution. And that you create over time. And when customers realize that they are in good hands, then they realize the value of this integrity and all these activities for them, and they stay with it.
Thank you. And then when we talk, you mentioned co-create, which is a word that I absolutely love, by the way, co-create, and actually partnerships. I asked you a question about buyers, and you call them partnerships, a better way to look at things. I guess one of the best examples recently for Vodafone has been our subsea investment, and maybe the Two Africa cable system. I guess thinking just more kind of broadly about that, is that the way that you envisage a partnership? So co-investment, co-creation, is that how you see partnerships in the market more generally?
Yes, I mean, that's a good example. I mean, now, the Two Africa has become, the longest cable ever to be laid, and I think we'll reach about 45,000 kilometers of cable. But it's not about the in itself, the magnitude of this is really what it will enable. In Africa mainly, but also now reaching out in the Middle East to India, and then whatever this enables is something that we can also work with our partners to make happen. Because the possibilities they open up once you have connectivity are incredibly powerful, and for some of these countries will really make a huge shift on their ability to compete in the market. But then for the different parts of the value chain where you create new services, you will need different partners, and Two Africa has brought together the interest of various investors who maybe saw the need to invest here from their point of view for their business, being a hyperscaler, an over-the-top player, or a telecom operator, but then converging into something that we can all believe in and then deliver as a partner and get benefits, not only for our businesses, but also for the communities that we will be serving.
Perfect, thanks. And we're at Capacity Europe. Yes. It's week 3 of your new job, your expanded role, let's say, as CEO of Carrier Services as well as Partner Markets. Tell me a little bit about your ambitions. Let's tell the market, what are your ambitions for Carrier Services? Where do you see Vodafone Carrier Services heading in terms of the future?
Look, I mean, I think that, the traditional carrier activities, the connectivity, the messaging, the voice, will still be absolutely essential to connect the whole world. In a world that's becoming more and more digital, these become basically the fabric. But then on top of the fabric, you want to add the innovation and the intelligence that will then translate into more and more innovative services. So if you understand and you own the fabric and the ability to connect things, then you can build on top the new services and innovation through the co-creation we discussed earlier, and things which are becoming more and more common today, like artificial intelligence, like machine learning, like the implementation of 5G that will enable new solutions. Once you see them integrated with the underlying fabric and connectivity, will give us the ability to co-create with our partners and clients in completely new ways. So if you like, an industry which has now a relatively long history and still has to rely a lot of the staple product that we have, now can really build on top some fantastic solutions that can really wow our customers, not only our customer in terms of other carrier, but also in a B2B2C, for example, environment or situation, and products that would not be possible without this integration of all these different innovations and technologies.
Thank you. Well, look, thank you very much for your time today. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to seeing our customers at capacity, of course. And thank you for joining me for this fireside chat today.
You're welcome. Thank you, Oscar. It was a pleasure.